Welcome to the Dice Box and Tombstone Blues. Coming back on what's going to have to be a slightly divided up session because shit got complicated. These guys are in a little town in the Wastes proper, which seems to have been effectively taken over by a death cult. More or less. The preacher man that is preaching that the Wastes is what God wants the world to look like, was apparently the doctor man from your from the psychiatric facility that they raided a while back and found certain bits of evidence of what happened to Jillian's husband, among various bits that Jillian, apparently being something of a glutton for punishment, actually asked their little seer friend for details about. Thanks for having to have me put that kind of words in the mouth of a 13-year-old girl, by the way. In any case, they dealt with a critter that was patrolling the town in order to rescue said little seer child. And then they had to deal with the somewhat larger thing that turned up after they got her more or less safely home. The only reason she was still there at that point was because she had insisted that she had to stick around and help Jillian with her current bit of trying to save in some form her husband Isaac. We don't entirely know what form that is going to take. Mostly what she's getting from Cassie is don't feel bad about it. She's not going into any further detail. Just try not to feel bad about it. She said that to Reba, too. Reba and Aloy and Muffin, who are sticking around the farmstead of their friends, who they sent back off to the Reverend at the township at the edge of the Wastes, where they recently just come from. You know, with wife and the two other children, the little twins, very, very much loved. They're getting out of harm's way, like, now. But these lot plus Muffin are trying to make sure that people don't burn these people's poor farmstead to the ground. And incidentally, probably buy Jillian a little bit more time to do whatever it is she's doing. The only reason they're not going with Jillian is because Cassie has said point blank that if these two turn up, it immediately devolves to shooting. But apparently Isaac, after his patrol thing, waits around by the well in town, there, until dawn hits and he's not, in the world or whatever anymore. They don't entirely know what the deal is with that, but according to Cassie, they just don't seem to be there during the day, which is going to make dealing with the preacher man fun. In any case, Nom's odds or evens?
Evens.
And that's a 2, so we are starting with you. Yeah, Jillian and Cassie are riding back into town, and make me a perception check, please.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Jillian has very much her mind on what she's going to say, what she's going to do, trying to steel herself against the sight of what's been done to her husband. And that's around the point where Cassie kind of grabs the reins off Jillian and kind of nudges horse sort of behind a shed and just goes, shush. She doesn't actually hear the large group of townsfolk until they're almost literally on top of them coming down the road they were just on. They came around a bend, and Cassie managed to find a spot where they're not visible as long as they don't move and they don't say anything.
Jillian silently counts heads.
And it's the town. It's pretty much all of the adults of that town. So we're looking at something in the region of 40 or 50. They may have torches, some of them, and pitchforks, and it's there's at least a couple with with lynching ropes. And assuming that nobody else is doing anything, actually make me a stealth check. It's not great, but that's a loud. I mean, they're not trying to be loud exactly. That's the thing. They're not doing the angry mutter that most angry mobs do. They are surprisingly quiet. Purposeful, surprisingly quiet. This is Holy Crusade, not angry villagers. However, it's still a lot of people. So they're making enough noise to cover Jillian's various bits of fidgeting, which unfortunately is kind of inevitable if you're, trying to keep a horse still because there's tack jingling and all the rest of it. Cassie is still as a stone. And eventually the mob moves past. At which point it's just sort of, sorry, but you didn't see them.
It's okay.
This is gonna get really complicated.
Which part exactly?
The part where your focus is very singular and there's a lot of stuff that goes on. It's your nature. That's the thing. It's just gonna get complicated.
I'll make do.
You will. Just try not to feel bad about it. Come on, let's go before we miss him.
Jillian nudges the horse on. I appreciate you not telling me how this will end.
Yeah. And off into town. Are you taking any precautions to see before you are seen?
Yep.
Okay, give me another stealth check. Fucking hell. Yeah, no. You're for all you've had the warning, you're still very much focused on what you feel you need to do. And despite yourself, you're a little bit worried about how this is going to end. So that's distracting you from some of the bare bits of simple. So it's pretty clear when you get to about there or so. You're actually more like there because you're trying to skirt around. It's pretty clear that you've been spotted. While focus is on you, Cassie slides down and ducks around about there. I'll be right behind you when the time comes. I'm watching.
All right.
You might want to leave the horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll hitch the horse to something there.
Yeah, there's plenty to hitch a horse to and there. And
So, can you see that it was Isaac that's looking at
well,
her?
what she's currently
Or just a
seeing is
feeling?
it. I mean, she's definitely seeing a tall-ish figure, dark coat, hat shading most of his face, but that stance is familiar,
Mhm.
even under the coat and the whatever the hell else has been done with him. And she saw him shoot her and slit the Reverend's throat. So she knows how that what he's become stands. The fact that he's seen her is more of a feeling.
Mhm.
It's that whole, standing up a bit straighter because something's about to happen.
Jillian slowly starts to approach and glances up and mutters, "Lord, let me carry his burdens." And she'll go up and kind of pause a half step about there.
He doesn't move, but he's clearly looking at you. And the voice, you haven't really heard him speak since everything. The voice has changed somewhat, but not enough for just the Jillian not to break your heart a little.
Isaac,
You came.
of course I did.
It would have been easier if you'd just come home.
I am your home, Isaac. It's time you came back.
You're my home, but I'm not yours. You could just come home.
I'm your wife, Isaac Kane. Ain't nothing going to change that.
And I'm your husband. You're the one who left. You're the one who found another man.
I thought leaving would keep you safe, and I was wrong. And I'm sorry for that.
Why would you be sorry? I actually found some help. It's a delusion, you know that.
Everything I did, it was for you, Isaac. I just need you to open your eyes now.
If you did what you did for me, then I effectively deserve everything I got. We're at a bit of a standoff. You won't come home You expect me to what?
Expect you to hold me again.
Not as you are now. You took on something deluded and strange, and you want it to be for my benefit. But you like the power it gives you. You like the certainty it gives you, a certainty I clearly never could. We're not so different, you and I. So who gives first? At which point, there's a little tug at Jillian's shirt. And standing next to her, I'm tempting fate here, but give me a perception check. Oh God, you're gonna be at least as fucked up about this as God and Isaac too. Yeah, you're at least as fucked up about this as he is, because what is standing next to you, what appears to be a 9-year-old boy. The hair is sort of off blonde, but that kind of off blonde that you remember from Isaac's childhood is probably going to turn a sort of a off no color brown. The eyes are very much shaped like Isaac's, but blue like yours. There's very much a mixture of both of you in that little face. And because you both are fucking stupid, none of you actually see what's going on, and Isaac effectively flips out and points his gun at this kid. Can you roll me initiative?
And Jillian tries to get in front of the kid, and apparently she finally got a good roll.
She definitely succeeds in getting in front of this kid, and that's pretty much what she's got right up until the shooting happens. And you take... That's 6 points of piercing damage and 7 points of necrotic damage.
So that was Isaac shooting?
Yes, that was very much Isaac shooting.
Okay.
Although for movement, you're gonna have to pull up people now. So you were kind of about there, I think. Well, more like there, around about the stump. I need to think these things through a little bit better in terms of getting... Weirdly, that'll do just fine for kid, although given it'd probably be closer to there, given that you stepped in front. And something suitably... creepifying, if I can find it. That's goblins. I don't want goblins. I Goblins, halflings. That'll do. And he's gonna hop over to there. Try to line up a better shot. It's clearly not you he wants to kill. And that bullet hurts like the last one did.
Jillian shoots back. Oof.
Yep.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Strength saving throw. What's the DC on that?
14.
No, he still manages to stay standing. Just staggers back a step or two. Yeah, that's clearly doing some damage.
Yeah, she'll shoot again.
Okay.
And then move to keep in front of him.
The kid, in very much yours and Isaac's accent still, is just going, "This isn't the way. You've done this before."
Jillian's having a hard time looking at both of them at once.
Yeah, but she can still hear the voice well enough. And he kind of dodge rolls to about there. Because your movement can happen first. Yeah. One shot misses. The other one through this kid's shoulder and knocks him a good 5 feet backwards. It's still up. Well, I mean prone, but not dead. And yeah, no, still apparently still very much what your son would have been. Jillian.
Jillian screams. Shakes a bit and looks to Isaac and intones, "Stop."
Just shakes it off. Keep in mind that while I'll say this to keep in mind for the next round. Sometimes, you know me. You know me as a DM. If you want to do something that's not on your spell list, that just, that D&D is never thought of, or, fits in your skill set but hasn't, you just ask me, and I will roll Hand of Fate. I will set something up. I will do a thing. You set up something wonderful when you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
I can translate that. I will translate that. You know that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
She
but there's...
moves in front of again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's still a certain amount of movement available to Isaac. Thankfully, currently missing. This kid is, not doing overly well. Hasn't got back up yet. But yeah, 2 shots, both missed, at least partially, because still on ground.
Jillian runs at him and tries to tackle him down.
Okay, let's start with an athletics check for a grapple.
With all of her 125 pounds or so.
Well, she can't get him down, but she's definitely got a grip on him. That
Would that translate to an action?
Yeah, that would translate to an action.
Okay, then she'll keep grappling.
Okay, let's see if he can break that. No, he very much cannot. This is all proving to be a little bit too much for Isaac at the moment. And this is quite the scene at the moment, because most of what Jillian is managing to do is keep his gun hand up. So at least she's got hands on him. But for all he shot her, actually pushing her away seems to be beyond him. Even as those fathomless black eyes are looking at the child they should have had, lying bleeding on the ground. There's just way too much going on in this guy's head at the moment. And the kid is still not moving. And you're a little bit too busy to tell why.
Jillian drops her gun so that she has a free hand to grab at his face, and then she thunders, "Open thine eyes."
Okay. Let's have a look at your character sheet and see what we can get.
Probably theoretically remove curse.
Yeah. Okay, why is it not showing me your actual character sheet? What is wrong with your Roll20?
I had it minimized.
Yeah, but that shouldn't matter.
Oh.
Ah, nope, there we go. Maybe it does. Just looking and seeing what your spell modifier is. Caster level 6. Attack, magic attack modifier. D10 carries. I think this has been being cruel to you in terms of. Well, let's go with what you would have if y'all were a paladin. So cross your fingers, pray, and roll me a charisma check.
Jillian lets the word flow somewhat decently.
You made it by 1. Made it by 1. There is this unholy shriek to the point where make me a wisdom save. You manage not to flinch back, but it's an effort, just because of the sheer. This is someone's mind and soul wrenching, and this is your husband. And, okay, now you make me a strength save. Because you're still gripping this dude. Yeah, no. I mean, it's a good roll, but he's still a fair bit heavier than you. So you both end up in something of a tangled heap on the floor. And you're not 100% sure exactly how this happened. There's just too much word and darkness and divine whatsits. But at the end of it, you are holding this rotted looking, squirming, not like the leech thing. This is more like a secondary heart almost. Still apparently trying to beat. Isaac is very still. His eyes are closed. And while he does seem to be breathing, you're not 100% sure what happened. Beyond you have thing. And given his eyes are closed, you can't even tell that it's necessarily worked as intended.
Jillian squeezes the thing and begons it. She has a word of radiance, I guess, for
Yeah, that's not
arms.
that's not doing it. For some reason, word of radiance won't do it. Maybe that's not what's important right now. Maybe the Lord wants something else. You don't know, but right now it's not letting you destroy that.
Jillian calms down enough to stare at that when it very strangely does not burst into flames, and looks down at Isaac and looks back to the kid. Does she know the kid's name?
No. This. Make me an intelligence check. Cassie's dad has illusions at his command. She is a seer, but that might just mean that she can see how to do things. And that's when, for Jillian, the illusion fades. She was doing that as a distraction.
Jillian. Very deep breath in. Takes a closer look at the heart.
It's still quietly pulsing there. Not quite beating, but pulsing. It's weird.
She'll grab her gun and holster it, and then run over to Cassie and give her 30 points of lay on hands.
There wasn't even that much damage, so no, it's a bit
fair enough.
a bit closer to like 10.
Okay.
And she's still breathing. It's all good, but she's clearly, healing aside, she's... Oh god, that bullet's still in her. You healed her with the bullet still in her.
We'll work on that later.
Oh, that's gonna be so very much fun. Yeah, there is, however, also a certain amount of. You remember that crowd noise? There's more of it, and it sounds less. It's still purposeful, but somehow less healthy. And instead of silence, there are groans, moans almost. The sun's not up yet, and the undead are coming.
Jillian looks up eastwards.
Um, it's closer to northwards actually, because they're coming down from the church.
Oh, she's looking toward the sun.
Ah, you've got a while. This is, yeah, and
Gives
there,
Cassie a shake.
there is unfortunately another noise. This is more of a shriek, and it's from above. It's another one of those things with wings. And it's a looking. It's still circling for you lot.
Jillian gives Cassie a very hard shake.
Is about what you get. At which point you, and if you're persisting in this, oh yeah, something, a dark shape dives. Doesn't go for you. It doesn't go for Cassie. It doesn't go for Isaac. It goes for your horse.
Mm.
You hear a shriek of dying horse, and there's a certain amount of splat as bits of blood and entrails pass overhead. As at which point, while you're shaking Cassie, you hear from behind you, Jilly doll, your priorities.
That Jillian looks up very wide-eyed.
Yeah, Isaac at this point is sitting up. And when he looks at you, it's with those same hazel eyes you fell in love with.
Aww.
But they've seen far, far too much. This is a man that is not 100% sure how to live with himself. And make me an insight check. Yeah, I mean, he's not hiding shit anyway. He doesn't intend to. You've got it.
Isaac Kane, get up and go.
Mm,
And she looks for the sturdiest looking building.
that's not gonna help, Jilly. You gotta get gone. And you gotta make a choice at this point.
Mm.
This twice now. You saved me. And this one bought a bullet so you could do it. It's my turn.
I can't.
Yes, you can. There ain't nothing for me to go back to, Jilly darlin'. That was the
Yes.
first thing I made sure of. I didn't.
I'm still here.
But you're not. You got too much to do to be worrying on me. You always have, ever since that day. And it's pretty clear I can't wait for you in this world.
That's why you're supposed to come with me right here and now.
We don't have time for this. Jilly, I can't. I done too much. And you do not want to know any of it. Because if you do, you will hate yourself for expending the effort on me. Don't tell me you won't. I know you. I've known you since you're a little girl. And giving me shit.
I will live with that. For you.
You'll make me live with that? Do you hate me that much? Let me pay my penance and wait for you someplace safer. Someplace kinder. You don't have time to argue this, Jilly.
Jillian picks up
The
Cassie.
sounds are coming closer, incidentally.
Jillian picks up Cassie.
He stops her for a minute and kisses her. It don't mean much, but it's as much as I can make it mean. I am sorry, and I will wait. But I need to do right by my soul first.
I'm sorry too.
You were always stronger than I was, Jilly darling. I could not do it without you. And now I can't be here. Now go.
I'll see you, cowboy.
Gives her another kiss and then swats her back. Pulls out his gun, and by that point, the undead are there. So it's a matter of Isaac starts shooting. And apparently, for all he's missing that bit of nasty, he's still a pretty good shot. Okay, make me an athletics check. Yeah, there's the issue of you're not very strong and
Nope.
you're trying to carry a 13-year-old girl. Who is really not doing very well because you healed her up with a tainted bullet in her. And yeah, let's have a look and see how this goes. You try to run, you stumble. You don't fall, but you are definitely slowed down. That creature dives for you, but veers off course with the sound of a gunshot and a pained shriek from it, followed by, "Get your fucking claws off of my wife!" At which point it turns and starts charging for Isaac.
Jillian does not look back and looks for stables, if that happens to be in a southwards direction.
Now we roll the hand of fate. Yeah, there's always some bit of stablery towards the end of town, and you are not fortunate enough to not hear what is probably Isaac's end. There's a
Mm.
lot of there's a lot of swearing to keep their attention. There's the sound of some of the undead army getting kind of trampled because he kind of did the Toreador dodging out of the way and letting that charging dark thing
Mm.
barrel into them, but then it turned around. You guess anyway. That's kind of what your brain is telling you, because there was lots of crunching, moaning, and then turn and Isaac screaming while he's shooting. And then both the screaming and the shooting stops as you get into the stable. The screech from the creature does not continue. The slightly denuded undead army, on the other hand, does continue to advance from what you can hear. And in the stable, there is actually a pretty good horse. In fact, it's while Isaac himself was tainted and horrible, his horse was normal. And I mean, it looks kind of freaked out at the world in general, but when a person who's not tainted approaches, it's just like friendly butt.
Jillian gives it a very hurried pat and then saddles him up,
Yeah,
gets
and
moving.
this he's very well behaved. And when you've dumped Cassie over the front of the saddle and got on, this horse, this would be a mare actually, just charges off like all the devils in hell are after her, which I mean technically, kinda,
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah, as you head out of town, there's no more shooting, no more creature shriek, and you quite easily outdistance the undead mob, which it's cocked. Actually, turn back fairly quickly because while the sun is not quite up yet, the sky is starting to turn that pale gray that indicates that the sun will soon be up.
Jillian slows the horse once they're at the outskirts, and then looks down to Cassie.
Still out. Still breathing, just, but still out.
Uh, how far away is the farmstead or how long at a good pace on horseback?
Uh, I mean, this horse could run very fast for a good long while, so 10-20 minutes.
Jillian has a gallop back to the farmstead.
Okay. And since we've only got about 10 minutes until break time, we may as well break here uh, and deal with part two, because that didn't take quite as long as I expected it to in game time. So, yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see the cavalry, such as it is, riding in. Um, it might be necessary. It depends on what these yahoos do. So we'll see you in a few minutes when we deal with what happened at the farmstead. And we're back with people who are probably going to forget the reminder about the inside voice pretty soon, given what is about to happen. Okay, heading back to, and we'll remove Jillian And well, we'll keep Cassie around just so that can go, because the other one of those that you had is kind of dead. Courtesy, Jillian's partially redeemed husband. There's a difference between salvation and redemption, and Jillian had very much cause to find that out, as while not taking advantage of the distraction as quickly as Cassie would have liked, she did manage to take advantage of the less distraction, more attempts at shooting this apparition that looked very much like the son they should have had, to remove the core of whatever was tainting him. But at the same time, he could not entirely live with what he'd done, because Jillian really does not want to know what he done. I'm sure she'll find out at some point. Knowing her, she'll probably make it a mission to do so. But also, he knows that even if he could theoretically live with himself, he can't go with you people, and there's no place left for him to wait. And because of the situation in which they found themselves, with Jillian having healed Cassie with a tainted bullet inside of her, and an oncoming army of the undead, he sacrificed himself to give Jillian time to escape with Cassie. There was another way that could have worked out, but Jillian didn't move quite fast enough for that. I'll probably explain the things I thought might happen after this is done. But for the time being, let's go back to Reba and Aloy, who do have a little bit of time to make any kind of prep. So you guys watch Jillian and Cassie ride off.
I'm going to need a position from which to shoot.
I mean, there's always the roof. I don't know how flat the roof is. I don't remember.
No, we never said it's...
Oh, never mind then. Well, I mean, are you looking for elevation, or are you looking for cover?
Best one's both. If I can if I'm just gonna walk around the property. I'm gonna go and walk around the property to see if any of the windows face the town, the direction the townspeople would probably come from.
I mean, ish, but not really. You'd have to, given the position of the road, because the road's a little ways down that way. Well, more sort of that way.
Even the second floor?
Yeah, because the windows are in more or less the same position. And then, of course, you've got kind of there, which, you could theoretically shoot from the windows, but you're dealing with a bit of a distance situation. And it depends on how much they bundle, and if they decide to make a charge, there's entirely a chance that somebody will be able to get close, and all they need to do is chuck a torch through. And in fact, there's plenty of other windows, so you cannot cover all of the bases. It's a large house.
Yeah, that tracks.
If we're gonna...
Okay, I'm gonna see if that tree will take any of my weight at all.
It's kind of been crunched by dragon thing.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's enough left to take any sort of weight.
Not yours. Cassie about managed. You get about... You get up to the lower branches. You grab one that should be sturdy, and you notice the crack in it just as it gives way, and you drop about 3 feet.
Aloy, if we got a mob heading, and we're trying to keep keep them from torching this house, if they're coming for us, we'll probably need to meet them before the house.
I mean, fine, but I really don't want to be standing off against an entire town because there's going to be about, what, 50, give or take? And that's more hands with a lot more ability to grab and drag than I'd like to deal with. Muffin can only ward off so much.
Boop boop.
Looks at
And
Muffin.
we
Looks at
need
Muffin.
a better position.
Looks at Muffin appraisingly.
Boop boop.
I don't know. We give Muffin a good charge. He could do some damage.
Boop boop
But I
boop
get
boop boop.
Yeah.
I get it though. I get it.
Yeah, and I don't want Muffin getting, hammered by
Obliterated.
about 50 people.
Boop. That would
Um,
appear to be better me than you.
You're also forgetting a few things that I can do, because it wouldn't be just the two of us, or it doesn't have to be just the two of us. I was thinking bears would be nice. That's always a possibility. I was aiming to try talking first.
Yeah, I want you to be able to talk. I'm also wanting you to be covered from a distance while talking.
We'll try to find.
Like my idea is, yeah, I'm perfectly down with you approaching and talking, but they're gonna be twitchy, and I want to be able to drop whoever tries to make a grab for you.
And Reba's wise, the minute shooting starts, they're just gonna get even more grabby
Yeah,
and not let you cast things.
One, I wasn't going to talk to them that close. But two, if they start trying to grab, there's not going to be time. They're going to be even more grabby. I won't be able to cast anything. That's just no. I was going to basically. We're talking standoff. We won't know. Part of it is we got it. I don't know. We don't know. Is it an angry mob? Is it? I've seen them
Bunch
more
of
than.
idiot cultists. Better just shoot them all first.
Well, I can see why Cassie didn't tell you not to feel bad. Damn. And people call me a savage.
And Muffin is just kind of boop. Like he can't believe that came out of you.
Out of. Just sorry for clarification.
Yes. Yes. Boop.
DM.
It's kind of I thought you were
Follow
nicer
your lead
than that.
until something ridiculous starts.
Reba.
I get it.
Reba's wise. Aloy's intelligent. Maybe she could set some of that intelligence towards trying to think of some logic she could throw at them to help with the talking part instead of going directly to boom.
Yeah. I'm more tapping into what people are feeling and just the general way things should be. But with this going on, that ain't going to help. But if you could you come up with some sort of logic or train of thought that we might use to derail them a little, so to speak? Maybe put them off their... I mean, their quarrel is with us. What quarrel they had with the family... Well, the family ain't here. So that's one.
Aloy.
They also seem to think they're doing God's work.
Yeah,
Well-
that's the thing. Their quarrel isn't with you. They're following the wrong God. What you need to do is find some way of explaining to them that their preacher man is tainted. This is Aloy, because Aloy being the intelligent one. It's like, why don't we just shake somebody until they figure out that people who only come out at night, and why I know what heaven looks like. Reba told me what heaven looks like.
I just
Heaven is the exact
like there, so I missed most of that.
Sorry, it's like wait a minute. They're saying that this is what God wants things to look like. This is what paradise is supposed to look like. This is what heaven's supposed to look like. Reba went to heaven. We know what heaven looks like.
This ain't it.
Yeah, you're right. This certainly doesn't look like any Garden of Eden.
Well, no, that's you thinking this in your
Mhm.
head. So you've got
Just cogitating.
yeah. You can say so. You've got Reba going.
Right. Yeah, they're pretty damn stupid for not cluing in on this before, but I don't think their God's all up on the only come on the things that only come out at night, go bump in the night, and also are clearly not making any kind of a garden.
Yeah, I mean, they're the God that they're supposed to be following. Is it like God, as in like the white boy God? Are they trying to follow? Are they subverting
God.
that, or are they?
As far as you know, the white boy God, but that's a question. I mean, Aloy's going. That's a question to ask.
I mean, it reads like white boy God.
God, she's calling it that now.
Well, to differentiate, I mean, yeah. I mean,
I'm just doing that for Reba's benefit because that's how Reba's going to understand it best.
Yeah, pretty much. So then I mean, you'd probably be better. Well, I mean, hell, I've been there, so I suppose I could just draw on that. But I mean, I don't follow that path, but I sure shit know it's real.
At the same time, Reba, you are wise. You are also not white.
Yeah, exactly. So, between the two of us, they might listen to you more than me, for reasons that should be obvious.
Fucking hell.
I've dealt with more than a few mobs. If they don't show up with nooses, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Like I said before, the only good thing is at least I don't expect these ones to show up in sheets. It's a nice change of pace.
At the same time, it doesn't seem like enough of a change of pace, which is why I am so tempted to just start putting bullets in people.
At which point, can you both
have
make
50
me?
bullets you can put in them right now?
Can you
At
make
once? Because probably that's what it's going to take.
Can you make me a perception check? And Reba's at disadvantage because she's in the middle of ranting.
Yes. Okay, click disadvantage. 7.
Yeah, you're in the middle of ranting. Okay, no, you guys notice absolutely nothing. Yeah, and yeah, it's right up until it's pretty damn obvious that there's people with torches, pitchforks, and yeah, a couple of nooses, and they're now too close for you guys to do anything because Reba's still in the middle of. She's in the middle of ranting, but she does break off while Aloy is just being impressed at the ranting. And now they're a little bit too close to actually make any further planning because you can you can't see whites of eyes, but you can see eyes.
And we're screwed. It's too late.
Let's just start by moving forward enough to be heard.
Yeah, you really don't have to use very far. You really don't have to go very far for that. Boop, boop.
Yeah, they can probably hear us from here.
It's fine with me. I'm gonna move a bit further, Muffin at my side.
The mob stops, mostly because they're looking at Muffin.
What?
It's an abomination!
No more an abomination than the stuff walking around at night in your village.
Make me a persuasion check.
9.
All the same, about half the town is sort of going,
You got stuff that comes out at night, and I don't know about anybody else, but does this look like paradise? I mean,
Doesn't
really?
look like a Garden of Eden to me. Doesn't look like a garden at all, really. I mean, think about it. Isn't God supposed to be about the sun, about pearly gates, about all that wonderful stuff from on high? Where's the on high? Why is all the stuff that's apparently sourcing from your church varying levels of black, bat-winged, and screeching?
and 16-year-old girl sort of pipes up rather sadly with, "We've sinned. This is what we're supposed to have."
But I thought your God was all about forgiveness and repent. You repent the sin, you get forgiven, all is well.
This is our repentance.
More sinning ain't repentance. Murder isn't repentance.
Both of you make me an insight check.
4.
Yeah.
11.
And Aloy is too much. She's just trying to not devolve into math because she knows that they will think she's speaking in tongues if she starts in on the math. Because she's not hiding anything. Reba is mostly going, so basically they told these kids that they deserve this. And probably not just the preacher man, but there's enough unsure looking adults. But apparently some of the parents are more or less browbeating their kids into this kind of shit with the, we deserve this. I mean, this is a 16-year-old girl beyond, the usual bits of 16-year-old envy, etc. There is no possible way she could be enough of a sinner to deserve this.
To deserve something like this would require a magnitude of sin I don't think anyone here is capable of. Do you look into yourself? Do you honestly think this is what you deserve?
I mean, Reba knows self-loathing, particularly self-loathing that comes when other people are feeding it. That's what she's seeing right now.
You are not bad people. I have met truly bad people in my travels. People that would go out of their way to cause harm to another for the simple reason they can. People that have caused harm because they thought it was fun. None of you are that. None of you here right now are that. You're here because you've been told and convinced it's what you deserve. Is it? Is it truly what you deserve?
Make me a persuasion check.
A nat 20.
Nat 20.
Oh,
Whether it's because of the impassioned words or because of they're actually, some of these people are actually looking at their kids and seeing what is happening to them in here, you know? There's very definitely a certain amount of, well, okay, fuck. You don't really have any kind of argument about that. Unfortunately, there is still a certain amount of issue with backing down, largely on the basis that whatever's behind them is worse. So there's currently standoff.
How much do all of you have invested in staying here?
The 16-year-old girl is sort of, we've seen what happens if we go back
Go back where?
home.
Well,
We, and the larger man, clearly farmer, we ain't just leaving our home.
no.
Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to suggest. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just trying to figure out. Just what that. I can't even call him a preacher. What that thing in your church has told you and what he's doing to you to make you think that going around, turn around empty-handed right now would be worse than whatever he's telling you to do.
Aloy, wait.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Let me ask you all this.
Wait.
Too
Oh,
late.
sorry. Never mind.
I'm looking at something because you guys had some pretty shit perception. There's a shimmer in the group. One of the few that didn't seem particularly moved by much of anything.
Okay, Jesus, I'm lag spiking again. I missed. I heard shimmer in the group and then just nothing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You didn't miss much. What you get is something that looks kind of like a bipedal toad. Large, quasi-reptilian face. Jagged bits of claw. And this critter yeah, he's gonna do it. Can you two make me a dex save and for Muffin as well, please?
14.
Already working on it.
What's this?
The clicking seems to be also subject to my Internet's bloody lag spikes.
I am looking a thing up, so.
I don't know if this is actually a save, but there's Muffin at least.
It'll do.
And there's me.
Yeah, Aloy makes it. So, this is gonna be lots of fun. Let's do some maths here. 2, 4, 6, 9. Ow. 12, 16. 10. 26. So yeah, that's for Aloy, who is speedy, that is 13 points of fire damage. For Reba and for Muffin, it's 26 as this toad-looking thing flings a fireball at y'all.
Minus 12, sorry.
13.
13, thank you.
There's a surprisingly a lack of screaming. There's a certain amount of running, but they're clearly kind of inured to this kind of thing. Unfortunately, I don't think my my bits and pieces have allowed for a death slod.
I knew it was a slot. As soon as I heard the description, I was like, I made one of these once.
Oh boy, this is a big angry croaker.
This is a big angry croaker with a couple of
Extras.
oh yeah. Well, let's have
Quite a
a
bit more than the one that that the CR crew ended up fighting.
Oh,
that
right,
wasn't a slod.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. It was some kind of. It was still like some kind of toad demon thing.
It was definitely a toad demon, but it wasn't it was definitely
Wasn't anything near as fun.
I actually looked at the I actually found it at one point, but yeah, we'll just stick with that thing, and you're kind of over there, and over there, and basically Aloy managed to dodge behind Muffin, and woomph. And I'd like y'all to roll me some initiative.
11.
Okay.
And for Muffin?
Working on it. Had to move Muffin's sheet into the open.
Be right back.
Okay. And funnily enough, that initiative order, well, it'd be more ASMR rather than, but it's not quite, but it's close. Okay, so Aloy, you're up first.
That's pretty awesome that you finally went and showed yourself. Just need to pull up something so I can track Muffin HP, because otherwise... Because we had taken some damage before, and Muffin was out of a 78.
Well, if Muffin's HP is 78, I'll keep track. So if we could...
Out of 78, Muffin was down to like 52 or something.
Okay, well, let's call it 52 and go from there. Because, you know, time is a thing.
Yep. I'm thinking... At least now we get to prove that fighting you is possible. And I'm going to point at it and fire the lightning attack that I switched the gun to
Okay.
last fight.
We get it. You're over-explaining again. See, that is yes, roll damage.
Right, and I'm going to fire it again.
Okay. Not quite. Slightly modified slot. Okay. And in fact, it's this thing's turn. So... What's its movement speed? 5, 20, 25. Yeah. So that's something I have to look up. Because y'all are still bunched. Okay, you guys. Now we're doing a draw shape thing. No, green should be it for... Why am I not getting the option to do actual circles? Fuck it. Do polygon line. It's gonna have to do, because that's 5, 10, 15, 20 foot radius sphere. Yep. 20-foot radius sphere. So that's spreading just about everywhere at this point. So yeah. So that's the points at which we're... So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. So yeah, well, it'll probably stop around there. 5, 10, 15, 20 there. Oop. Well, no, because that'd be... Oh, for pity's sake. Why? Fine. We're just doing a fucking square. Don't care. Just shush. I'll figure it out. That'll do. That is yellow-green fog. So, heavily obscured. area. Currently, you cannot see for shit. And that's pretty much its turn, although it is going to move a little closer just to wait until you guys come out. Reba, okay, first thing you're going to have to do before you do your turn, because this is enters spells area for the first time on the turn or starts its turn there, you must make me a Constitution saving throw.
17.
Nah, ties go to defender. So that's... Oh, that's gonna hurt. 6, 12... I hate you. 18 points of poison damage?
Oh, I know the spell. Ow.
But it is your turn, so... Can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah. Sorry, I realized when I looked down. Sorry about that. All right. So, since I can't see, I can't go with what I was originally going to do. So I will instead. I can. Yeah, going in a B shape, that counts as an action, but then I can still move.
Yes.
Okay. So I will go ahead and do beast shape, turn myself into a bear, and charge the spot, charge toward the spot I last saw it in. So essentially, charging that spot there. Charging toward that.
Yeah, I'm checking your movement speed. Just chill.
Sorry.
So yeah, you're charging in that general direction. And you sort of come face to face with this thing, but because you've had your action, you can't actually do anything about it. It's just there you are.
As a bear. Okay. Big old bear right in its face. Okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
So at least now I have your hit. You do not have very many hit points. If this was potentially a bad move. Brown bears have 34 hit points.
That's more than I've currently got.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Oh God, Muffin, make me a Constitution saving throw.
These Muffin's con score is solid.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's even things that don't need to breathe are affected by this crap.
It's Cloud Kill.
Yes, yes, it is, and that makes it. So that's half damage. So that's 6, 12, 14, 19. So that's... Yeah, Muffin ain't doing so good. But what is Muffin doing?
What did Muffin take in damage?
19 points of damage. I'm keeping track, so you said 52, so now he's got 33.
Yep. Alright. Well, now's as good a time as any to do it. Muffin's gonna activate that haste driver he has installed.
Okay.
And is gonna go very fast
Okay.
out of the cloud to about there.
Yeah.
Then further movement, since Muffin has a doubled total,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get. Well, let's see
You
if
know
that can
that was
continue.
you know that was 45 feet of movement you just took.
Yeah, it was 45 feet, so there's 15 more.
Okay.
Which is just gonna use what little of it is left to get back here.
Boink.
And basic headbutt without the charge, but can do twice.
Okay.
Bonk.
No. Nope.
Double
No.
bonk.
No. Muffin's optics are too much fogged by bullshit. While all this is going on, there's an awful lot of dead and dying villagers because he didn't care about the cloud and what he was gonna do to the townsfolk. Actually, thinking about it, no, nothing like that'll happen until next turn. Okay. Aloy, can you make me a Constitution saving throw? No. 10. That's 15 points of poison damage.
Woof, I am a mess.
But it is your turn.
The windows on the property, were we able to just... Are those the kind that can be easily opened, or...
Well, I mean, possibly, but the thing is that that's just gonna go in to... The fog is just gonna follow you in there. Aloy is intelligent. She knows this.
Yeah, I'm... Let's process things. I'm trying to recall how far around the fog is.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
Aloy
wide enough
wouldn't...
around that it'll go in there.
Aloy
Okay.
wouldn't know anyway. She just knows there's a lot of it. She doesn't know where it ends. And if she opens the windows, it gets into the house.
Well... Gonna put myself... I'm gonna put myself just out of the cloud. Out there.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. You have just used up your movement, and you're just at the end of that cloud.
I'm going to yell, everyone get clear, pull anyone you can with you, just get out of here.
Okay. I shouting is. We'll call the shouting a bonus action. Do you want to actually take an action now?
Yeah, I've got shots to use, and I'm gonna fire them off.
Okay.
Bang.
No. That hits. Roll damage. The lightning does not do as much damage as you thought it should.
Swear he's remodeling these things every time every time he sees me hurt them.
Okay. Yeah, Slod is going to deal with the bear. An AC for a brown bear is 11.
Yeah, I'm not long for this world. I already know. It's fine. Like I said, it was more HP than I had at the time. So
It's 10 piercing plus 10 necrotic, so you're technically still a bear
Oh, sweet.
for now. There are claw attacks to be had, however. Oh no.
Nat 20. Whatever I take over my HP as a bear rolls over onto me. Just FYI.
I know. I'm
That's what the Odeer was for, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm fully expecting this to wipe me out. Or well, knock me unconscious. I mean,
don't worry, I have a plan. So that's 12. Technically just still a bear. And okay, so yeah, technically you only lose as Reba form 4 hit points.
okay, wow.
Didn't roll
Praise the power.
particularly well.
So you see her get, and the bear form drops, and she's going, but at the same time has an expression on her face like, "Holy shit, I'm still upright." Okay.
Speaking of Reba, it is now your turn.
Okay. If I leave its area, it's going to get an attack of opportunity, so that's no good.
Actually, sorry, I did forget one thing. Can you make me a Constitution save?
Yes, one moment. Let me scroll my character sheet up. There it is. 16.
You feel something trying to squirm its way into you. But you manage to just get before it gets any particular purchase. You're muted.
Oh, I'm glad, because all you would have heard was my
You're
yeah, basically.
role playing. We're supposed to hear that shit.
Fair enough. Okay.
We're going to set a timer on you.
Sorry. All right. I'm going to cast. Fuck it. I got it. I don't have any HP left. Fuck it. I will move. I'm going to back off and move over there. I know it's going to get an attack of opportunity.
What's your AC?
15.
No. Unfortunately, it's got a pretty good modifier on its attacks. That's 11 plus 17. 11 slashing and 6 necrotic.
All right. Well, I'm not doing what I was going to do. I'm just out of its reach, so I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself at, fuck it, I got 6th level. I got to burn this because, fuck, I'm down to 3. So, hold on, let me scroll to it. There it is. Healing Word, clicking at level 6.
Better.
So 17 plus 6 is 23. So it brings me up to 26. And that's my turn.
Okay. Muffin?
Muffin's going to pivot to in front of it between
Yep.
us and it. And is going to continue trying to keep its attention by Mega Bonk.
Okay. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to hit.
Um, a few of the townsfolk have managed to get, out of range. Most of them, however, have not quite made it. And the ones that died last round are getting back up again.
Mm-hmm.
However, because bullshit in town didn't last as long as I thought it was going to, you guys spent a terrible lot of time arguing, and Jillian has a very fast horse. Jillian, you come barreling down the road to see this cloud of yellowish green fog, a couple of badly wounded friends, this toad creature, and some rising undead. Jillian, will you roll me initiative? Okay. Christ on a bike. Aloy. Yeah,
Why am I glad to see Jillian?
well, actually, you'd need to make a perception check to do that. Say that Jillian.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
And, I mean, technically Cassie is with her, so we'll sort of dump her over there someplace for now. There we go.
let's see. Well, bad opportunity to do this, so I'm just going to fire this, and I'm just going to fire... No, I'm not even going to fire. I'm going to start switching modes to Thunder.
Okay. That is your action, so, okay. And you don't have a bonus action.
Nope.
Are my dice going to love me? My dice are going to love me. Jillian is probably as surprised as anybody else, although for different reasons, when, without hardly seeming to be looking, Cassie raises hand with gun and shoots at the toad thing, doing a not insignificant amount of damage as it happens. So that's... I mean, she's still not looking overly well. And not up to moving very much, but she is draped across the back of this horse. And all you guys see is flash of divine. And you're thinking, Jillian, and then you look up and sort of. Slod's turn. Slod's pissed. And there's an awful lot of undead in the immediate vicinity. What is Slod gonna do? Can Muffin is at the very least exempt from this. Can Reba and Aloy please make me a wisdom saving throw?
26.
Oh, this is about to suck. 14.
I mean, technically you don't need a phantasmal image of your worst fears, but you have it. You must now drop whatever you are holding, which means your gun, and become frightened for the duration, which means in your next turn, You must take the dash action and move away by the safest available route on each of your turns. So you're fleeing.
Sorry, I must take the.
Take
sorry,
the
must take,
dash-
I heard must take
the-
the route.
The dash action and move away from the slud by the safest available route on each of your turns if you don't make your wisdom save. So basically, you're going to be through the door and running. When it's your turn. It's not your turn yet. Jillian.
Cassie, stay back. And she dismounts, takes a step up. And, how rough is the slot looking?
Not. I mean, it's got some dings, but honestly, the it's got some dings, but it's still looking moderately sturdy.
Okay. Hunter's mark.
Okay.
And then 2 shots.
Well, spell save DC. No. So saves that save or suck. So none of
Isn't
the.
I thought it automatically adds the 1d6.
Oh no! It adds the damage. It's until the spell ends. Then why is it asking us to make a? Why is it asking for a spell save? Sometimes this.
I think that's just showing what a spell save DC is on all spells now.
Oh, okay. In which case, fine. Yeah, that hits roll damage. And while thunder is actually one of the things it's resistant to, radiant is not.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
So that's
Then
15,
one more.
16, 17. Okay. No.
Okay. And that is it.
Reba. The cavalry's arrived.
At which point you actually see her glance up and go, "Thanks." with not an undetectable wry grin on her face, and she is going to go with.
Also, please slightly less volume, tiny bit.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you for the reminder. She is going to go with conjure animals, and it's continuing with the theme. It's going to be 2 bears, one on either side of him.
Let me see if I can find bears. Give me bears.
I went through the book and actually looked at the challenge rating of everything and found out there's not a whole lot I can't do actually with this. So I'm glad I went and looked it up. And yes, I'm well aware that 1/4 is more than 0.
Yes, that's
God, I'll never forget that.
bear.
Excellent.
Witness the power of trinkets.
Except they're large, so you can't put one there. You have to put him there, because if you put him there, he's 10 by 10.
Oh, I didn't know they were that big. My bad.
Large is 10 by 10.
Okay.
Bears are huge.
I did not remember. I apologize. That's my fault. But
So
thank you.
all of a sudden, in front of Jillian, bear! And on the other side of Jillian, bear!
Oh, that's amazing.
And
Okay, so
Reba
this-
just yells out, kill the frog.
Okay, well, let's do some multi-attack with some bears. No.
Jillian's too grim-faced to banter.
Oh, well, the claws actually did some damage, so that's 2d6 plus 4, and in fact 4d6 plus 4 in one case, so that's 4, 13, and 13, 17, and 17 and 14 for 20, 31. Yeah, bears have mauled this toad. Muffin! Actually, well, I mean, in absence of lost given orders, I guess Muffin is just going to keep bonking this thing, because actually, concentration. No, that was no. It's still concentrating. That was nat 20, nat 19, nat 18. Just no. So yeah, Muffin, I guess, is still headbutting.
Yep, I ponged him in.
Oh, one headbutt hits. The 19 hits. Roll damage.
Four.
It's something. It was proud booping. Which is around the point at which the undead start mobbing you. And the bears. They're not doing a terrible lot of damage, and they're mostly focused on the bears right now. So, undead villagers, townfolk start coming out of this cloud of, and they're clearly dead, and they're mauling the bears.
So they're at like the border of it or something?
Well, a couple were approaching you, and actually, I think a couple are probably taking on Muffin, but they're damaging themselves more than anything else on Muffin. They're more focusing on the big shit. Aloy, you're taking basically everything, just fleeing in the safest possible.
Do I get to make my save?
Not before you start running. You have to do it at least once.
Well, then, there's only one direction for me to go in.
Well, I mean, you could
Straight back.
Yeah, in sort of. So you see, or flee 5, 10, 15, because it's your dash action. So you're getting as far away as humanly possible. So I'm just going to say you're cowering in that corner for now, and make me a wisdom saving throw. And
I have a -2. There's no way I'm making this one.
And theoretically, I mean, technically you could. The odds aren't in your favor, but you technically could. And since theoretically there's no place else for you to go, basically, until you make your wisdom save, you're huddled up in that corner.
I mean, I could go out a window, because I can keep going until I'm off the map if I go out a window.
Yes, but I'm not going to do that to you or to me. We're running a little out of time here. So...
Thank the gods for that, because at least that keeps me in the corner. Bears.
Bears. Fuck's sake, Cassie. So that's... One shot misses, but another takes a chunk out of this slot, and he's not doing too well. She hasn't moved. She's still draped over the back of this saddle like a sack of potatoes, which is probably why only half her shots are hitting. But... okay, Slot is pissed, but there's Bear. Also, Slot is really badly hurt. Yeah, no, it's starting to get lighter in the sky now. Slad has plane shift. Slad is gone. There's still undead around, but they mostly seem to be pummeling Muffin and Bear. And since Slad is no longer on plane, Aloy, you're kind of... I dropped my gun. Fuck! But you're not terrified anymore. You're now more pissed off that you're now over in a corner and your gun is out there. We can more or less drop initiative order because this is cannon fodder in between Bears, Muffin, and the Hand of God Almighty. Reba's probably a little bit too ow.
I'm just glad the cloud's gone.
Yes, actually I can.
Reba's too busy maintaining the bears and just trying to breathe because she went down a lot real quick.
Yeah. So eventually you wind up with the cloud dissipates. The townsfolk that got caught in the cloud are redispatched in fairly short order, and eventually, with a word of thanks to the ancestors and the bear spirits, because the bears have saved her life now on a number of occasions, Reba dismisses the bears, and you are out of combat, and Aloy is staggering out, basically swearing at mental hoodoo crap.
Are there any living townsfolk still inside?
They've long fled. They took the advice that were given and ran like hell. You don't really know what's going to happen to them after that, but it's probably not going to be good, honestly.
Jillian grabs Cassie, starts rushing inside.
Yeah, she exerted herself when she probably should not have done so. And oh fuck, yeah, no, she's out and really not doing very well.
Did Reba get a look at her as
well, I mean, basically she saw not very strong Jillian manhandling Cassie, who's gone yet more limp, and given that she hadn't moved from a very uncomfortable position, I mean, she's unfortunately been hauled across somebody else's saddle before, and the fact she didn't move from that, not a good sign.
Yeah, in which case Reba's immediately following and going to Cassie's side and is going to start looking and.
So wounds are healed. I mean, you can see a bullet
ancestors.
hole and blood, but
looking at Jillian, what did you do?
Where's Aloy?
Aloy has now come out of the house.
Yeah, I'm out in front of the house, just swearing angrily and finishing the mode shift.
Jillian is...
I am going to... That church needs to cease existing. Most of... What?
Jillian is in the kitchen.
Yeah, basically she while she's swearing, you've got Jillian going, Aloy, and going into the kitchen, and Aloy is not hugely perceptive.
Yeah, cut off means responding with what?
Yeah.
Where's your small knife?
Which I have like 4.
The one you used when you dug out the bullet.
Oh, we have one of those. Okay, and
the worst part is when Aloy looks at this, the wound's closed. Jillian healed her.
Oh,
there's just this.
Aloy, please.
I know. Shut up. Get out of my way. And I'm going to try and figure out.
I go grab the bottle of rum from.
Carefully.
Yeah, we're gonna ask for a straight up dex check this time.
21.
Yeah. It unfortunately does take a pretty significant amount of digging, and you're having to do this on purpose, so that's on top of the. Yeah. I'm not going to quote damage numbers at you, but there's a lot of blood before you finally find the bullet lodged somewhere along the region of her collarbone.
Jillian steps back up and looks to Aloy.
But yeah, she does pull out another one of those bullets.
File open. And do it. Shut.
Okay. Put her.
You just do your job. I'll get rid of this.
Yeah. Well, can you close your back up a little bit more first?
I can heal her.
You theoretically could too, you know.
Yeah. All right. So then.
I'm just gesturing at both of you and
Okay.
walking away.
Reba is going to go ahead and I guess that would be. I was going to do a healing word. I can't do it at 6, so I'll do it at 5
Okay.
because I don't have any 6 left. I burned that one.
I know.
Sorry. I gotta scroll to my phone. Gosh, just get some stuff. There it is. Sorry, give me a second to find it. 5. That's not a whole lot.
Yeah, the wound closes up enough, but
Jillian gives her another 10.
yeah, I mean, the wound is closed, but I would like the both of you, because Aloy is out dealing with the bullet, to make me. What kind of check can we make? Ask you all to make here. Why is yours always so freaking slow? Oh, here we go. I guess weirdly for both of you, medicine check.
15.
You're not proficient, but you can tell things. Yeah, well, Jillian can't so much. Jillian hasn't got any medicine proficiency. There was bleeding, there is now not bleeding. She's obviously fine, right? No. That bullet was in her for a while, and while taint doesn't seem to be a thing, the whole thing where her body was fighting that taint with whatever the hell it is that makes her her, has left her in pretty bad internal shape. And it's not something that healing will fix.
Yeah, probably not even greater restoration, I assume, right?
You don't know. You don't think so. It's possible, but this probably has something more to do with her own personal strength and possibly dealing with bullshit. But you don't really know enough about. You'd have to ask science for something like that.
Jillian,
yeah, so Jillian looks relieved, but funnily enough, Reba does not.
Jillian, she's not fine. She's not okay. She's not going to be okay for. I don't know if she's going to be okay. I could do more, but this might be a combination of up to her and bullshit. God.
And of course,
If we ride flat out, how quickly could we get to her family? How quickly could we get her to her family?
You don't know which direction they took. You could ride right past them.
Weren't we assuming? Yes, that would be making a big assumption that they took a straight line back to the other town.
It wouldn't necessarily be the safest course. You don't know.
Yeah. We don't know.
They couldn't have gone far.
And they couldn't have made it yet, so that's not an option. All right. Well, none of us are in any condition to do anything right now but rest.
Mm.
Unfortunately, at this point, I think one of us is going to need to keep watch. One of us is going to need to keep an eye on her, and then one of us is going to rest, and we'll trade off that way, or we'll
And
keep watch and watch her at the same time. I don't know.
and let's be fair, Jillian's probably not going to get too much in the way of sleep owing to the fact that if she'd moved a little bit faster to do something other than shoot, this wouldn't be an issue. Sorry, but Jillian now has the guilt. For so many reasons.
You keep an eye on her, and then Jillian stomps upstairs.
I'm going to insight that if I can, because that was a bit extreme of a reaction. Like, what?
Well, your modifier is not going to be very high because who didn't she come back with?
Jillian's not trying to hide anything, just, very...
Yeah, but she needs to know how deep it went, so roll the insight.
Yeah. 12.
Well, Isaac's not back. The wound was closed, which means she healed him. Which means that Jillian healed it. Some other shit probably happened, but you couldn't even begin to guess. Something went wrong. Clearly. And some of it was Jillian not being your wisdom or Aloy's intelligence.
Oh, sweet ancestors. She reacted. All right. Well, I guess I'm staying with Cassie. I know you don't follow mine, but they'll look out for you. Because I am.
So, is Jillian doing anything in particular upstairs?
She's going into Cassie's room and crawling up and crying.
The whisper that she normally gets when it's not the word sounds a little different this time. Very different kind of familiar. Things happen for a reason, Jilly Doll. Looks like I'm with you at least a bit now.
Feeling better, but not any less weepy.
Oh yeah, different, but weepy kind of changes settings, I can imagine. Yeah, but it's a more cleansing weeping. Certainly, we'll leave Jillian there for the time being. Reba, meanwhile, is because I guess they're leaving Cassie on the kitchen table because her bedroom is occupied.
Pretty much, but yeah, the whole time Reba's got her. She's not holding her hand, but Reba's got her hand resting on Cassie's. And it's just that contact, and both for the physical contact and to monitor her pulse.
Yeah. And it's a little erratic. There are moments when it's, not good, strong pulse, but not too worrisome. But sometimes there's a certain amount of trip hammering followed by very slowed down. So there's still a fight going on. But somewhere in the middle of that, Cassie's other hand lands on top of Reba's. Not my time yet.
Rest. I know. Rest.
The table's uncomfortable and Jillian's in my room.
I can take you up to Brent's if you don't mind.
I can go to Brent's. But
Okay.
I'll actually stay in the twins. kid is looking out for you.
Yes.
I don't know if she'll listen to me, and I don't think she's ready to see me yet. And she won't believe you. It's not her fault.
I know.
I can't see how this ends up. I think my end is the one thing I can't see. But it's not yet, and I still have something to do.
Okay.
So try not to fuss.
Ah, child, I'll try. I'll try.
You can worry, but don't fuss.
All right.
And the scientist lady probably needs less angry. She doesn't do very well when she's angry. None of you do. You're gonna need less angry towards the end.
Aye.
Pats her on the shoulder and sort of hobbles upstairs.
Reba just watches her the whole way. Not like glaring, but just like, I'm just making sure that you don't stumble or need a hand. So,
Stop fussing. You're worse than my mama. The shut of the twins' door.
And Reba will get up and start heading out to see Aloy. But since we're at that time, I'm assuming.
Well, I was going to take a brief couple of minutes because I've focused on you two for a minute. And what's Aloy doing?
Well, I've got a bullet full of nasty and no reason to keep it, so I'm going to try and use my smith tools to reduce it to melted. Can I?
You can certainly try. It's what might actually happen with the... Okay, can you make me a Smith Tools check, please? You're working with... your TN's going to be quite high because you're working with... You're not actually working with a proper smithy.
Yeah, best I got for that is switching to fire mode and using that to supply heat.
Okay, you're doing this at disadvantage.
No, that would be the best I would have, is what I'm saying. As if
Yes. But if you're, in which case, if you're doing it at disadvantage with the setting on.
I'm confused because I'm not. I said that if you. So you're insisting I'm going to be using it that way?
You said you wanted to turn the thing into sludge. I am telling you what you would have to do and what you would have to roll and how because of your very limited tools. Because you don't have a smithy.
Thanks. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to get my order of operations in a line in my head.
Okay. Actually, before you do that, can you make me an intelligence check? I said before you do that.
I'd already clicked it right as you said it.
Yeah, but that still... Yeah. Okay. Now we roll the hand of fate. Before the metal heats up too much, Reba comes outside and sees her applying heat to Polito Nasty at around the same time as she's thinking, heat is just exciting the molecules, and the molecules then go off into the atmosphere, and I don't really want to be doing this, even as Reba's just... She doesn't have the science, she just has, what the fuck are you doing? So, Reba, by all means.
Oh, what the...
And I've already shut it off. Never mind. Stopper the containment. I guess I'm just keeping this forever now.
Unless you can find
One more
some
bloody reminder.
better way of dealing with it. That's Reba going.
Yeah. Can we not release it into the air?
At least not in this farm.
I get what you're. Okay, you're trying to just destroy it. Okay, fine. Can we just not do it here?
Can you make me a religion check? Yes.
15.
It's just about enough. This is more the white boy god shit. That's a bit more of the Catholic end. They have phylacteries. Things where they store. Usually there's two ways of doing it. There's holy shit, really holy shit, like fingers of saints and things. You always thought that was kind of weird, but also evil shit. They put salt and they stick it in jars, and then they stick those jars in statues, and they neutralize it, and they put it somewhere where no one's gonna touch it. Couldn't you just do that when you fix the church? You'd have to ask Jillian if there's any specific bits she knows.
The white boy god following folk, they I know I've heard stories, they keep bits of folk and stuff, but they also keep like bad stuff the similar way. Can't we just do that in the church when we fix it all up? Because
provided we don't burn it down, sure.
The church did nothing, and the town's going to need a church, so no, we're not burning it down.
Frankly, they're probably going to need to build a new one, given how much of the rock of mine that's been in there.
She makes a point.
That's a fair point, but we'll either way, you
won't have to keep it forever. Please don't.
Yeah. You won't have to keep it forever. Please don't think that you're going to, and also just please don't go melting it anytime soon.
My equipment's lacking anyway. I don't have any reason to try that shit again.
We'll talk to Jillian, see what she knows, if anybody would. But yeah, we've got options. You don't have to carry it around forever. It's not a bloody anchor.
Yeah, certainly feeling like one. And it's going into a pouch in the meantime.
Or you could just put it in Muffin with the other one.
I'm not putting that thing anywhere near Muffin. The rock with its even in containment was already worrying me enough. And now that I know what else it does, nothing hoodoos of that nature is going near Muffin.
Okay.
Wait, so you've been carrying him around this whole time?
Carrying what around this whole time?
Didn't we have another one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So where is the second one?
The second one is in the same pouch.
Okay.
It's in another vial.
That's a longer conversation than we have time for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, it's Reba going, I can't reason with her tonight.
Yeah.
I don't have it in me. She doesn't have it in her. We need to rest.
Yeah, we need to rest, but that's a conversation for later. Anyway, one of us needs to keep watch. And yeah, we got to do a watch of some sort. Cassie is resting. She's gone up to the twins' room. So you go on up. I'll take first watch.
Yeah, sure.
Boop, boop.
Come on, Muffin.
And Muffin
Does
is
Muffin
just
need
like,
sleep?
boop. Boop, boop, boop. And it nudges Reba in the general direction of the house. Boop, boop. Boop, boop.
Muffin
Boop,
can keep
boop.
watch.
Boop!
I'm sorry, Muffin.
That was more, you're all idiots.
Well,
So, yeah,
okay.
Aloy's not thinking straight. I was going, yeah, I'd probably have sent Muffin if she wasn't so goddamn mad.
Boop boop. And leans head on Aloy's shoulder. Boop. Boop. Boop.
Fair point, Scridge.
And yeah, then just does a little tappy dance for Aloy's amusement. And
All right.
when sees a smile on Aloy's face, boop boop. Boop 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 boop
That
boop.
is still the,
And-
that is still the oddly cutest thing ever.
And starts
I'm still
patrolling
gonna
around the
have
house.
to get help some of those dents out, but at the very least, I
Let's not
can
talk about the hammer
just
now.
stick to polishing for now.
Boop boop. And nudges her back towards the house. It's a rest now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aloy,
Things later. Boom, 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 boom,
grab.
boom.
Let's go.
And whether crying,
Yeah,
you're-
I'll get some sleep, Muffin. You do you, and I'll buff you when I wake up.
boop boop. And whether crying yourself to sleep or noting that the Gay Day Bear is in you can hug me for a minute if you want to position. Or Aloy finding under the pillow that she was using in the in the drawing room because she was on the sofa. Little. It's an attempt at an automatic apple peeler and core that that Greta decided to try and design. That she just
Oh,
left
Christ.
for Aloy to look at. The mechanical principles are not bad, but it's very simplistic from Aloy's point of view, but it's still pretty good for a beginner. With all of that in mind, and Muffin patrolling outside, and every so often, before Aloy goes to sleep, she just sees a Muffin head peeking in. Almost hear the self-satisfied boop boop before trotting off again. You all actually get some rest and have to think a little bit about what happens tomorrow. In game tomorrow, out of game next week. So see you guys next week.